But I do want to find out from you, what do you think about Trump? How is he doing? How's President Trump looking as we get down the stretch with only 15 days to go until the election?
Well, look, Trump's done a good job. I had a similar conversation about 14, 15 months ago, and I was on with two Democrats. I was on NBC of all places, and we always have a good time when we go on NBC. But we were debating, and they were talking about the economy. And obviously no economy lasts forever, whether it's a man-made or a natural intervening factor, right? But I said, look at all the good things he's done on foreign policy, and he's continued to do those things despite the coronavirus, the peace in the Middle East, probably moving the ball more than anyone else since Bill Clinton, probably more than anyone else since going back quite a bit further. And he's made a lot of progress there in terms of enforcing the law as written, in terms of his Supreme Court nominations, coming up on 3 Supreme Court nominations. And so he's done a number of good things separate and apart from the economy. So let's talk about the economy. There's the last 2 recessions were man-made problems, right? We had the dot-com bubble, and then we had the real estate bubble. Those were man-made problems. Those were things that a president or a Congress could have and perhaps should have fixed. What is this? Well, this is a natural disaster, right? I mean, it's akin to a natural disaster in the sense this was some virus that was either grew up in animals or was deliberately concocted. I don't know which. And if it was anyone's fault, it was China's fault, and it wasn't Trump's fault. And Trump was the first guy to basically say we need to stop flights from China, and he was lambasted as a xenophobe by people among those at the top of the Democratic ticket. As a xenophobe when he was protecting the United States.
That's right.
And does he wear a mask when he's sitting alone watching the game? No, he doesn't. Should he maybe have worn a mask more? Yeah, obviously he should have. And he caught coronavirus, but he's okay now. And I just submit, I said, if the man upstairs did not want Donald Trump to be reelected, he obviously had his opportunity.
He had the perfect chance. And we talked about it on this show. A lot of Democrats were wanting the president to expire from coronavirus. I got text messages from people, tweets from people. People wanted to make wagers on whether he'd survive through the end of the week, et cetera.
I was at that weekend that Trump was holed up with coronavirus at Walter Reed Hospital. I went to an event. It was an event where basically I expected to see fellow conservatives. And there was a man I didn't know. I guess he was at the event, but he wasn't of the persuasion. But I didn't know that. And I was talking to this man, and he asked me what I thought of the president. I said, I think the president's going to be okay. I said, in the unlikely event that he wasn't okay, obviously we have a transition, but Mike Pence is very competent, and the country's going to be okay, and I think the president's going to be okay. And I was just trying to, give people some hope, and, it's the coronavirus, but it's not a gunshot,
Yeah.
So I thought that President Trump would survive, and indeed he did. And the man started looking at me with this shock and rage, and I didn't know what to make of it at the time. And one of my friends took me aside. He said, that guy's a liberal. And then it all made sense. He didn't want reassurance. He wanted to find out who was building his coffin.
Right.
And that just, and I could name him, and he's a very prominent man in my area, but I'm not going to. But I was just kind of sad to see that. I mean, if Biden or Kamala Harris or Nancy Pelosi, for that matter, was sick, I would wish them all the best. When RBG died, I actually admire her intellect, not her ideology, but her intellect. And if we can't kind of agree that we want our opponents to have good health, then what can we agree on?
That's right. Well, that's the way it used to be, and now in today's world, and for a lot of us on the right, the Republicans and the right wings and conservatives, we all still feel that way, like you're expressing. I mean, I feel that way. I don't want anybody to die because of their ideology, but a lot of folks on the left now today, that's their mentality. If you don't agree with them politically, they would prefer that you were dead. And we see that playing out in the streets in some cases, as we've seen recently. Thank you for listening to the Morgan Streetman Show. We hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to help us out. And remember that we recommend that you exercise your brain at least once a week.